Welcome back, Lafian, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Lafian decides to head home and meet with his family. After a lackluster breakfast, the group decided to briefly pursue their own goals and to regroup in a couple of days to dismantle the damage that Dayton left behind. Lafian takes a teleport from Demi to get himself to Blighthouse to meet with his parents and his friends. Which friends will he meet? What affairs does Lafian need to put in order? And will the home he left be the same one he returns to? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die. Lafian, you find yourself standing in the Mages Society in Blighthouse. There is a lot of flurry that is going on further down the corridor from where you are. Another person teleports in almost just behind you, and they just very quickly kind of half nudge you out of the way, not really paying attention to who you are, with an armful of scrolls that have clearly not been used yet, and they scurry off down the corridor itself. It's kind of nebulously after lunch. What do you want to do?
I think he'll just go solo and start making his way to where would his father be right now?
Well, you are at the Witcher Society, so one of the higher-ups here would potentially know, or, out on the street, you could very probably easily just enter the giant tree that is the political base. They would probably also very likely know.
True. Yeah, let's
Otherwise,
go with that.
you just meander home.
Well, if I go home first and he's not there, I mean, considering I have to take a boat to get there and everything, too much commute.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. You notice that as you're walking through the Witcher Society, there is a lot of people. It's very similar to the major circle that you just got teleported out from. There are people working on scrolls everywhere. You can see that they are either teaching or learning, or they are transcribing it into personal spell books, or that they are just simply casting them and taking those good berries out to feed the masses. When you cross Blighthouse itself, you can definitely feel that the atmosphere is very tense. People are keeping very quiet and their heads are down. They look almost ashen, very hungry, obviously. You see that they're kind of keeping to this is the path, this is where I'm going to, I'm not looking up, I'm not looking around. You see a lot of them are armored and that they have weapons at the ready. It looks like there's obviously been some fights and some battles here. Nothing on the big scale, but considering that y'all have had shadows attack fairly recently and you probably haven't been here since, and with the knowledge that there have been some odd carrying-ons around here, it's not really all that surprising.
Absolutely.
You find yourself at the entrance to the giant tree in Blighthouse. It's very easy and very quick for you to find someone who would know where your father is, and they just take you up to the big meeting room that has the giant table in it, and the balcony where you once fought Glengareth.
Good times.
Yeah. And today you see that there are a couple of people that are kind of obviously waiting in a queue to speak with your father. You just kind of find yourself up on that landing, and as most of them see you arrive, you just see a few of them nod and they greet you appropriately. Do you want to just walk in there? Do you want to wait in line along with everyone else? I leave this entirely up to you.
No, he will wait in line. He's not going to be disrespectful to the people that have been waiting their turn.
Very fair, very fair.
He'll probably like strike up casual conversation with whoever, just try to make small talk just so at least it's not such a dense or tense atmosphere.
Yeah. Like yeah, I'm going to say you're definitely able to do it. You're able to lighten the mood enough where people aren't just quietly and pensively keeping to themselves, worrying about their own departments at their own places. But yeah, you managed to lighten the mood enough. And eventually, one of the heralds walks out and ushers you forward and announces you to your father. You notice that sitting very close to the door where you come in, you notice your father is sitting there with a crown placed properly upon his head. You see that your mother is sitting next to him and she's kind of bouncing your baby sister on her knee. Yeah, they look up and they smile at you, and your mother goes over to hug you, and then she sits back down.
Big hug in return.
Yeah.
Finger wiggles at the baby.
She kind of you see your baby sister, she kind of tries to reach her hand out and wiggle her fingers a little bit, but she's just not very motor skilled yet. She's just all pudge and smiles.
He definitely turns back to his parents, try to be very formal and proper, but then a little mystic hand appears next to his sister and starts wiggling fingers at her.
She very much enjoys that. Yeah, that's good. Your father looks at you. Could you roll either an investigation, an insight, or a perception check, please?
Sure. You already know which one I'm going to do.
I do.
23. Because I got a 5 on the dice.
God,
roll 20. We're starting off real swell.
Roll 20. We're doing good today.
No, we're not. That's only because I had a plus 18.
You are my friend. Yes. Your father looks, he looks like he hasn't slept or he hasn't meditated in days. He looks absolutely exhausted. You can tell that either it's just the food he's eating, or breaking the norm and just downing coffee. You look like he's just pulling himself through day by day. He's obviously lost a lot of weight since you've seen him recently, and you notice that there is clearly what looks like a scar that is healing over on one side of his neck that clearly cuts across his shoulder. Yeah, he doesn't look great. He looks quite haggard, and you would probably venture quite ill.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Indeed. Sit, won't you?
He takes a seat, just very, I want to say he's sitting very formally at an attention. Yes, this is his family, but until the tension is relieved a little bit more, maybe not so.
He you can see that he puts his hands together and closes them against each other, and he says, I hear that you are done with your tasks.
With the exception of the final one, more or less, yes. Only things remaining is, I understand, there's the meeting that is coming up, and I have my own agenda to see to, but...
Did everything go well? I mean, you've completed them, but did everything proceed without too much trouble?
No. Not at all.
Are you okay?
I have to be. We have to be.
True.
It's the position that we're in.
We don't always get the luxury of feeling bad. Well, you're here for a reason, I assume.
I came to check in. I had heard that you had been unwell, and he very clearly is kind of looking at the scar.
Yes, I assume Kythea.
Gives a slight smile.
I like her. During the shadow attacks, Talvin and I were, of all things, we were trying to reconnect and drink. He saved my life at the cost of his own, but unfortunately the shadow creature still managed to get a good blow, and he very obviously indicates his neck, runs his fingers along the scar line. Whatever was in this particular shadow's blade has left me not so well. I have not quite recovered as I should have.
I think Lafian just stands up and comes around the desk. Let me see.
He turns his head so that you can just more accurately see the scar, and he kind of pulls his shirt enough so you can see a bit more of where the scar goes. You can't see exactly where it ends, but it's definitely somewhere on his upper arm.
I think Lafian's going to see if there's anything he can do about it with his healing abilities.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I guess I should ask first. I'm not great at medicine, but does this look more like it's infected, or does it seem like it's just not healing as quickly as it should?
Being that you can probably figure out when the attack happened, it was some, we'd call them weeks past. This should have healed up much more than it has. This is exceptionally slow healing.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to just very gently place a hand over the wound, and he's going to try to pump some psionic energy in to see if maybe he can try to correct whatever the issue is.
Sure.
Meta, I'm going to try using Restore Vigor. So if it's something that is messing with an ability score or is HP or anything or exhaustion, that would go kaput.
Perfect. As you kind of begin to see and sense what is happening around that site and has now affected the rest of his body, it's not exactly a simple case of, but it's untangling a knot without ripping it to pieces. You just kind of move the energies in such a way that everything just kind of clicks back into place. And you can already begin to see that, at least from your perception, that the wound is beginning to heal a little better, that things are beginning to knit properly, at least in the energies that you're seeing. And you see an almost relief just palpably just pass through your father's body.
Gives him a solid pat on the other shoulder and then goes and sits back down.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel much better already, actually. And you can see him just roll his shoulder.
There's one good thing that came of the incident. It was that these abilities of mine are unique, interesting, and quite potent at times.
Yeah, so I've heard. I've not exactly been spying on you, but I have been keeping tabs. Certain rumors get back to me regardless.
Should take that as a compliment.
Regardless of this healing, and he taps his shoulder, which doesn't seem to be causing him any real pain anymore, just that kind of smart of an open wound. He says, he kind of lifts his head and his shoulders, and he definitely has a more regal pose to him, I guess now. I would like you to go to the Council of the Eventide as the representative of us from the dawn. Sorry, from the dusk. I do not feel that right now my health would mean that I would be able to advise or better forge a new world. I feel that your unique take on it and the fact you have been so... The fact you have to work so damn hard to try and save it in a way that some of us could not understand. I think it is time that my generation, Glingjair's generation, is not deciding the future for us. That belongs to you and Pintor, and it belongs to King Thakit now.
Not used to hearing that. King Thakit.
Nor was Nor is Queen Rowena first time she ever had to address him as king. And you can see he has a genuine smile, and your mum just has a definite, like, a little titter to one side. She's recalling the memory.
I just imagine that she probably wanted to clock him upside the head or something with that.
Sadly, they not getting on as well as we would have thought.
Well, generational trauma takes a long time in order to heal.
Indeed. His views are very different from hers now. She too had to take the throne at a very young age. Anyway, you do not have to do this if you do not wish to, but I think it for the best that you do.
I am at a crossroads then. If I'm being honest, and I had planned to bring this up along with many other things that I have planned, assuming that anything works out the way we want, I do not want a claim to the throne. You see your mother, like, look up very quickly and look to your father and look back at you. And she just, like, you see her hands close ever so slightly tighter around your sister. I am of the opinion that after seeing and experiencing everything I have, and as you yourself have said, my views, my concerns are global. I can no longer think of one country, one people when there are many. And while I'm sure I could do a lot of good from within the dusk as it is, I also think that the very notion of a dawn, a dusk, Kino, personally, I think all of that should not be as it is. Titles mean nothing, as we've seen when it comes to the world.
Not all great people have wielded those titles.
Very true.
But each culture, each area, they all require they each have their own unique needs. For example, we don't suffer the cold so much, so abundance of wood is not essential for us. But further south, where heat and warmth is needed, preservation of woods and properly foresting them is far more essential and a greater need. Those who live on rivers and by the sea require much more protection with floods, and they are more concerned with that than, for example, the price of good hiking boots up in the mountains.
Experienced that one firsthand.
Yes. Each area requires a different way of handling and leading it. Each of our cultures are different. Of course, you may be right, and we just fall under one big government, but that will truly come down to you. Wherever you wish to go with this, we will support you.
I'm still not sure. If I might lay it out, I have some thoughts and plans, and maybe an outside perspective, maybe of assistance. My current plan, and I did speak of this a little bit with Kythea, is I would actually like to open a school. My unique prowess and, well, her expertise and understanding of it a little bit more so than myself, I think it could be beneficial to the world if we were to take a neutral stance and open a school. I was thinking in Giata, there is already a very well established town that no longer is really occupied, and I think it would make for a very good location for a neutral area for all people to come together. I want to see if this is something that can be taught, that can be spread, that can be utilized by more than just me.
You see your mother is smiling. She has, her eyes are definitely glistening. She says, I think you would make an excellent teacher. And if this is something that you want to pursue, then you should do that. There are other ways of governing peoples. I mean, Empress Apella has shown us one way, Helsif another. And is it Baracus or Adenov? Both, I believe. Okay. They've shown us a completely different way too. If you wish to go start your school with Kythia, go do it.
That will require us surviving, which I certainly intend to try.
Well, if you don't think I'm going to be there with my bow, you're very wrong. She has a smile on her face.
I imagine our enemies will tremble.
I should hope so. I came to the wrong place.
On the subject, I did also come to establish a, and like Lafian definitely looks, I don't want to say distraught, but like, this is very clearly a difficult thing for him to bring up, especially with his parents.
Yeah, of course.
I think it only fair that should the worst happen that I have a living will established. I don't know what all is going to happen in this coming battle, and I would rather make sure that my affairs are in order.
That can be arranged. The librarian works a few floors down. One of them should be able to help you. They are well versed in the finer etiquettes of the law of... They should be able to help you, whatever it is you need.
You should be aware that part of it, I do intend to have a request that I suppose would be put forth to you no matter what.
Of course. Of what?
He gestures towards Cineath, right? Yeah.
Towards who, sorry?
His sister. Cineath Nora, I think was the name, right?
Yeah.
So he gestures to his sister, and my request would be that when she comes of age, that she be given great liberty with her life choices and the path that she wishes to take, not necessarily just the one that is preordained. Not that I'm ungrateful for how I was brought up, or how Pintor seems to have been brought up, but I think the days of predetermined fates and career paths are not the way the world is going anymore. I think the world needs more people that are free to make their own decisions in that matter. God knows me using a bow was proof enough that I was going down the wrong path.
That was not the wisest of choices, no.
Yeah, I'm better with my brain. But it's a request that I will put in.
I think a lot of this will depend upon the world that you and the council manage to create. And it is not something that will be able to be changed overnight, I'm afraid.
Of course.
With the lack of food and the tensions that are there, armies to be managed, people still need strong guidance that they know and understand.
True. Very true.
Let me ponder this. I will see if I can figure out any legal precedents for what I'm thinking, or I'll make a new one.
In my mind, a proper upbringing and helpful guidance will often get you the result you want anyways. It's just a matter of there being free will behind it.
Yes. And the more I'm learning about former apocalypses, ones that are foretold or maybe coming true right now, Fate and self-determination are big parts of that. Put your request for your sister in your will, and I will see if I can make this happen sooner rather than later.
Where is Pintor, actually, now that I think about it?
He's actually off. He's helping some of the farmers to the north. He's helping them to plant new seeds.
Oh, God help those farmers. Gods, excuse me.
He seems to be doing quite well with it.
Yeah.
Seems to be enjoying it.
Pintor Dougherty, the first farmer of our generation.
I don't think he'll stay at it for very long, but he does seem to generally like helping people. Just being the man right there to help them.
He's a good one.
He is.
Still a little mad at you for, having him right after, but,
You see your mother kind of like pinch her lips, I guess.
Sorry.
And she's clearly not looking at your father again, who seems to be interested in looking somewhere else.
Sorry, it is going to take time for me to get over this.
I understand. I wasn't best pleased with your father when I found out either. Anyway, let's not dwell on the past right now. We have a future to save.
I'm certainly going to try. I guess I will see you on the battlefield, if anything, then.
It would be an honor to fight next to you. If you need anything while you're here, please don't hesitate to ask. And if there is anything that you wish to do or help with, we could always use the help.
Is that a formal request from the king?
No, it is a reminder from your father that you still have chores to do.
Fuck off! We had servants for that shit. What you mean? No.
Yep. All right. I think it's a good point to leave them be.
Yep. Going to the library, evidently.
To the library. A few floors down, you come across the library. It is fairly similar to how you saw it last, where there is just books and scrolls literally everywhere that seem to have no real order to them. But clearly the librarian, who is writing on a parchment in the same way that the other librarian was, you see that is an elven man with kind of like really long, scraggly blonde hair and a very unkempt short beard. He's just wearing really light robes that is clearly way too cold for this time of the year. And he's just scrolling away on a piece of parchment. I will be with you in one moment.
Lafian just stands there, arms crossed in front of him, just... Please, take your time.
He kind of just keeps writing and doesn't ever really stop.
I feel like Lafian very slowly kind of like leans over and... So, what is all that?
I am writing the account of one Talvin, and continues to write.
Oh. Real prick, that one. So I've heard.
Apparently, as I was partway through writing out the rest of his biography, he turns and looks up at you with a very disapproving look in his face. He only went and came back as a revenant. Ugh, disgusting. And he continues to write. Just when you think you're almost finished with something, bosh, along comes something else to ruin my day.
Well, don't even get me started then on what he did recently. Going to help everyone sleep? Oh, my goodness.
He puts the quill down, he rolls, looks up and just looks very unhappy with himself.
Ah,
Prince Lafian, please.
Yes, hi.
Take a seat.
Gladly.
Your Highness, how may a simple librarian, the keeper of tales, help you this fine day?
Living will.
Oh, I haven't had cause to write one of those in a while. Let me see if I remember how. And he kind of like moves the scrolls he's working onto the back of the desk. He kind of like reaches behind them, pulls out special inks. He kind of like opens drawers around him when he pulls out this parchment, and you can see he has kind of a red and a black wax beginning to melt, sitting by the stamp that he would assume he'd use to seal them. Okay. First, Prince Lafian Dathrudir, of the House Dathrudir, first in line, is it? Okay. And he just looks at you blankly and expectantly.
Right. As far as I have off of the top of my mind, I've got 4 points of discussion at least.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, any stipends, money, anything of that sort that is currently my possession or would be owed to me, let's say, which I imagine my father owes quite a lot. I would ask...
Well, actually, yes.
Oh, no, please go ahead.
So you'd ask that... Oh, well, actually, that's just strictly not the case anymore.
Elaborate?
Well... You are aware that your father needed to purchase certain things to enable the farmers to continue growing and reestablish, to feed the people that are around, to help arm them for the coming conflict.
Right.
Where do you suppose that money came from?
I imagine there's like a slight pursing of the lips. That is very fair. Any future owed monetary gains that would be mine then.
Mm-hmm.
I ask...
Any estates, monetary values, assets and such like, yes?
Yes, right.
Okay. Upon the event of your death, whatever is supposed to be is already in your name. Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
I ask funding-wise that it be used for the establishing of a university for psionics, of which my father is well aware of already, as we discussed.
Psionics. Huh. And he just kind of like has a finger on his lip as he's begins to like gently stroke his chin as he's trying to figure out how he'd phrase that. I tell you what, I'll put it in a psionics. PSM. Yes. Okay. Yes, we'll make that a word. Yes. Okay. University of Psionics.
Sub-bullet point of the university is: should I perish, but Monarch survive, it is my request that he take up the mantle of educating before he does whatever else it is he wishes to do with his remaining life.
I will add that as a separate paragraph because that falls more under a specific request versus actually things that you own that can pass on.
Sure.
Like titles, assets, gold, etc. Okay. If upon my death there is in fact a school and in fact my friends and I haven't... oh yes, that's quite a neat paragraph. Oh, quite fun. Okay, yes, I can add that in.
Okay. Any physical possessions, magical items, things upon my person, I ask that those be distributed on a individual needs basis among my friends and family.
Who do you wish to determine those needs? I should rephrase this. Who do you wish to appoint the person who executes your will? I mean, I could do it myself, but I have a feeling you're somewhat younger than I am.
I think Pintor would be a good option for that.
Of course, pick your brother.
He's got a very level head when it comes to things of this nature.
Yes, of course.
No offense.
Pick your brother doesn't understand the legalese, of course, no problem. And you see he begrudgingly writes this into the will.
Well, I would certainly expect that you would be there to advise as a very wizened figurehead.
Oh, yes. And flatter me now, no problem. Right, so that is personal possessions, general assets, and wishes. Someone to carry out the will of that. Anything else you would like to add?
I've spoken with my father on this, but it needs to be put down that there is a familial request that my sister, when of age, is permitted free choice of her path in life.
Yes, definitely falls under a wish and a request part. Yes, no problem.
And one last one in regards to burial and my acorn. Which, of note, is currently in Zoltana Thunderheart's possession. That might need to be retrieved prior to, everything. Right. I would request that I and my acorn be buried at the peak of Dead Sky Mountain.
Okay. Yes. Little difficult to carry out, but I guess that's your brother's problem to deal with. He just has half a smile as he's imagining trying to hike up to Dead Sky Mountain to put this in. Well, completely unaware that you have friends who can teleport there.
Look at it this way. If I did it once, I'm sure he can do it as well.
Oh, fascinating.
It was a very interesting experience, let me say. Scary ice human monster thing impaled me with a spike. It was great. We killed it.
Sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. Okay, that is everything, I believe. Yes, that covers most of the things. I will I will continue finishing out the specifics and making this bindable by law, if possible.
Legalese.
And I will have this. Yes, the legalese. And I will have this sealed and. Oh my God! What the hell is that place name? I will have it sealed and delivered to the library at Dusk Plateau.
Where do you need me to sign?
Just down here at the bottom. Let me have a look at you. And he kind of stares very deeply into your eyes for a minute. It's yes, you seem to be of sound mind. Yeah, you seem to be pretty okay. There you go. And he just slides the quill and the parchment across. And there's obviously just a line at the bottom for you to sign.
I have a very important question because it just clicked in my brain. Can I get an aura sight on this guy?
Yes, you can.
I don't know, just I think Lafian's almost got some trauma at this point with fucking everything with Daichin and all that, and it's just what? How do I know you're not?
We do have some trust issues.
Little bit. It's almost like we encountered a hag in the woods that turned out to not be a hag.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a 28.
Yeah, he seems to be genuine. He definitely has a mischievous side to all this, but this is all very fascinating to him. He obviously doesn't do this very often. No, he seems like a genuine person.
Okay, all right, that's fine. There's no fucking brooch of the blissful eclipse.
That requires a successful investigation or perception. No, I'm joking. There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
Okay. I'm not going to sign the fucking paper and then it's going to be you fool, you've signed your soul away. It's oh shit.
Welcome to being a warlock for your last 2 levels. Or however many you have left.
Yeah, now 2 levels left. V.
Damn. Yeah, no, he seems genuine.
Right.
I'm telling you that you can sign this without any repercussions.
All right, he does that then.
Great.
I need to figure out what Lafian's signature would look like.
Well, that's something to consider in the next 1.5 years before this episode comes out.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, he as you sign the bottom, he goes through and he makes amendments and changes things and crosses them out, and he makes them all look like they should. Crosses them, magically alters them, and he sets everything up as it should be. And eventually, he rolls up the scroll and he seals them with black and red wax. He puts the stamp of the Dathridirs on, and he bows very deeply to you, and then he says, "Thank you, Prince Lafian, for bringing this to me. I appreciate it. It's interestingly fun. I will take this to Dust Plateau as I am now bound to do.
You're welcome.
Well, wonderful. Well, if you would excuse me, and he kind of like points for you to leave the library in the most respectful way that he can.
As you wish. He steps out.
With that, he kind of like closes the door, and he obviously casts some sort of magic spell on there to lock magically the library. And he takes off down the stairs. I'm going to say it's probably like the beginnings of night at this point. Some snow is beginning to fall, not like over the top, but enough to like sprinkle everything with a layer of snow. It is winter after all. What would you like to do this evening?
I guess he's going to go to his house unless he can find Talvin and Inverna. Assuming that they're in reachable distance.
You would know that Talvin's estate was fairly close to your family's estate off of Belegbood Island. And looking around and inquiring with a few people here and there, you know that they're not here. They're definitely at like their home, being Talvin's estate.
Okay. Then yeah, he would go there since he would need to go somewhere to stay for the night anyways.
Very true. It's probably, it takes a little while to be able to get off the island, and the snow is making it very difficult and hard for the ferry woman to actually like pull across. She's obviously like suffering a little bit, but she keeps going.
He'll help.
She has as many. She appreciates. She has many tall tales to tell and conspiracy theories to share.
Oh wait.
All of them getting.
Wait, is it the same fucking one?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking mother!
All right, way lovely. I think that's her.
Son of a bitch! Fucking snitch! She
continues to tell you more and more crazy conspiracy theories. She talks about the scarred man having to not actually creating the Goodberry scrolls, that actually they're just a form. They're eventually going to poison everyone, so you shouldn't eat them. She goes on to tell a weird tale about how dragons ride in the sky and that there are dragon riders and multiples of them. She names all the colors under the sun. She's clearly like, she has some facts, but she doesn't know how they all relate to each other. She has a whale of a time talking to you as you cross the ferry.
Dear God.
On the other side, you're very easily able to, grab a horse from the nearby stables or like make your way on foot if you wish. But it probably doesn't take too long to get to Talvin's place. And when you arrive, you see that there are no servants waiting to greet you, that there's no field hands working out there, that there's no butlers or servants around. It's kind of like very quiet, and you can tell that the front is closed but not necessarily locked. You can pretty much make your way straight up to Talvin's tree and just knock straight on the door if you wish, completely unheeded.
Yeah, that he just goes up to the door and just does a quick rap at it.
Probably a few moments later, you find the door has been flung open, and you come like face to face with an arrow in a bow.
Should have somehow seen that coming.
And you see that like Talvin just releases gently and points the arrow to the ground. And he kind of like turns and hangs the bow up by the door and puts the arrow back in like what would be like an umbrella stand for us, but there's a shitload of arrows in there. He says, sorry, my friend, come in. And he kind of like lets you in. The place is quite warm, but as you kind of pass Talvin, you get that kind of cold, like not right feeling. And he leads you into like the parlor area, and there's obviously a crackling fire going off, and you can smell that food has just been like laid out on like this table just in front of the fireplace. And Inverna looks up at you and she smiles.
I'm getting flashbacks already.
Come join us. How are you? And she kind of like pats the space on the floor because that's where they're sitting.
Yeah, he takes a seat and, saving the world, talking to my family. Not sure which is more arduous at this point.
Oh, how did that go?
Well, I think I had about as much news that they didn't like as vice versa. Although they seemed supportive, I think.
Yeah, I think from what I gathered, when you went away after, and like you see Talvin's face kind of darken for a moment, I think your mum had a bit of a calming, come to a loon moment with your father. Well, I'm glad you're back. Everything go okay?
God, which part?
Tell me everything.
Oh, we're going to be here all night. Okay. Well, okay. Where do I start?
Start with how did the fight with Dachin go? The one in the tree.
One in the tree.
Yeah, I know I couldn't come. And she kind of like puts her hands across her belly. She says, I know that you did okay. I just don't know how that went, though.
Oh, that one. Oh, God. The fact that I've fought Dachin more than once at this point just...
Well, you're still here.
He's dead, by the way. So...
She kind of like reaches out and she throws her arms around you in a really big hug. And like you feel Talvin just kind of like playfully and proudly like kind of like tapping you on the back. Well done. Well done.
Well, could have been a lot better. I may have nearly bit the dust twice, I think. I don't know. I kind of was unconscious for some of it. There's not a lot I can really do when there's literal meteors falling on my head.
But you did make it, so someone must have helped you.
Oh, who didn't?
Is everyone else okay?
Yes, everyone else is fine.
Good.
Mostly Squash kind of did a thing that I'm a little upset about, but I also understand why he did it, but it's a whole thing.
What do you mean?
So I don't know if this is my place to talk about. Okay, we're going back to when we were young. The two of you need to pinky promise me this does not leave this room, okay?
We're your friends. Of course it's not leaving this room. I do see that Talvin just like nods.
Okay.
Of course. Not telling us all.
So he had were-ratism, which was a whole issue where he grew up, and he was trying to get a cure for it because apparently Dachin actually made it worse in a way.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Very much so. But we found he needed an ingredient that was apparently near impossible to find and thought to actually be completely gone because of the fact that it was in the Lost City with Savras, that whole thing. And I ended up finding it thanks to my unique and interesting powers and a benevolent god saying yes. And
that sounds great.
Yeah, we got the cure, and then with the fight with Dachin, he got the were-ratism back, and now it's uncurable, but we did what we needed to do, so...
You're upset that he gave up something that you helped him with.
Yes, I understand why he did it, but doesn't make it any less of a bit of a slap in the face. Especially when he's already given up so much, at least in my mind.
Some people, they just continue to give to the point where there's nothing left. We have to make sure that we look after those.
And then there's me, the greediest one of the bunch.
I don't see it that way. I mean, yeah, we all, and she looks at like Talvin and looks at you and kind of looks down at her hands and she says, the three of us, we all came from power and money. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're greedy. And you... And she kind of looks at Talvin, and Talvin just, like, shrugs, and he says, I remember a young man who chose to forgive and cover up a crime because it was the right thing to do. That's not the mark of a greedy man. Thoughtless you can still be, yes, but not greedy.
I'm getting better, I think. I'm trying. It's very hard.
At least you now know. It's difficult to change the way you are, but I can see that you have changed.
It's hard not to change.
You've grown into a fine young man.
Well, let me give you the full picture anyways. So I think at that point, Lafian just kind of tries to recap most everything that's transpired since last time.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very easy to do because you know that these two know what your tasks were since y'all basically came out and said them when the Sentinel plane was cut off and Case's magic didn't work to reach that far to get y'all.
Whoops.
So yeah, like you'd be able to like fill them in on everything that you wanted them to know for sure. I'm going to say that recapping takes a really long time.
Good thing we only need 4 hours.
Good thing you only need 4-ish hours of meditation. You notice that like probably towards the end of your tale, as like before you get to Dachin, that Kythir has like begun to nod off. No. Can she not?
No, wrong name.
Right. Yes, Nimverna. I'm sorry. You see that like Nimverna's kind of like lying back on Talvin and that she kind of has her eyes half closed. You can tell that she's slipping into that meditative state, but she's clearly just more tired than she normally is. But Talvin is very happily following on, and he asks a lot of questions. You do notice that quite often his face will go quite dark, and he's obviously like biting his lip to not say something that he knows that would upset you or Nimverna, but he does keep it under control for now at least.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
My friend has gone to the dark side.
Yeah, baby. Talvin says, like very quiet and hushed so he doesn't disturb Nimverna. He says, it's quite a journey you've been on.
Been through a lot since, he just kind of leaves it at that.
Yeah. Well, if you need anything, we want to talk about anything, we're here. I'll be here for a while at least.
Do you need anything?
He looks down at Nimverna, who's clearly like meditating, half nodded off. He just looks down at her, and you see his face is like genuinely brighten as he looks at her, and he says, just make sure that after I'm gone that she's looked after. It's not going to be easy to raise a child alone.
Of course.
And no matter what happens, just try not to die at this thing.
I do not intend
Even if
to die.
None of us intend, but it does sneak up on you. Kind of like half smiles. Even if this world is consumed by this blissful eclipse, there are enough things in what you said that indicates there may be something afterwards. Even if we don't win, don't die. If there is something after, we're going to need people like you.
Certainly hope it doesn't come to that, but I will try.
As do I. Well, and you're going to see that he shifts his weight and he picks an inverner up and he says, I better put an inverner somewhere comfortable. Feel free to use one of our guest rooms. Our home is your home. But you will have to make your own food in the morning. We don't have a lot. Inverner can make good berries if you need them. Rest well, my friend. And you see that he kind of makes his way out and he begins to wind his way up the staircase.
Okay.
Do you settle into meditation?
Yeah.
You have a very comfortable meditation. Goes smoothly as you wish. It is now the next day. In roughly 24 hours' time, you know that there is a meeting at the GDC, but that's kind of all that you really know. Other than that, this day is for you, my friend. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I accomplished everything that was on my list in a very short amount of time, B. The only thing I had left was date night, but if we're going to be seeing Kythea, then... I think he's just going to spend the day trying to help then wherever he can, anything with food, logistics, supplies, whatever he can do to just make people's lives a bit easier.
Yeah, that's definitely something you could do.
He's leading from the front.
Yeah, it's a smart. You go to the little town that you met Reki at for the first time.
Yeah.
With the alchemist. The town has basically become a lot more affluent, or at least would have, if it weren't for the impending crisis. You can tell that things have gotten cleaner and better. You can tell that there are a lot less people just people seem to have more comfortableness here. You see that on the corners that people are handing out good berries, and you're offered one and they promise you that it tastes of blueberry. It's very close. It's not quite blueberry, but it's very close. And they just seem to be genuinely happy that you're here. And when you ask for help, they seem initially quite reluctant to ask a prince to help them. But after a while, you get someone who genuinely just look, I need help digging up my garden. I need help pulling this apart. And they ask you to do a lot of those kind of very simple, helping out tasks. And it becomes very apparent to you that even in this town that has become more wealthy and cleaner, has better everything around it, that they are clearly starving. There aren't enough good berries to go around, quite a vast amount of them. You can see that the parents are taking turns to feed children, etc., like that. You can see that the flask maker is just... It's not the same as how you saw it last time. There is no credit, nothing like that in the window. You can see that the potion master, the alchemist, is just going all out making something that helps people, keeps them strength, keeps their vitality going, at least for a little bit longer.
Protein shakes.
Yes. All about them mushrooms, baby. You can see what little food there is not being at market. The farmers are just hey, here's milk. Let's spread it around and get it going. Because there's a good community spirit here, but you can tell that they're definitely still lacking. A little bit later in the afternoon, you see a woman approaching you. You can see that there's a horse that she's come in on, and as she jumps off and she throws back her hood, you can see that Kythea has arrived in human form.
Oh.
And she kind of runs over and she gives you the biggest hug and a kiss.
He gladly returns it.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I just got here. I went to Berlikabud, the tree, but your parents said you'd be here, so I came down and then I found Talvin and Inverna, and then I got sent roughly here and I found you. Someone up the road said that you were helping them to mend a fence, so yeah.
Among many other things, yes.
My prince, man of the people.
Many people these days.
Yeah. I'm actually here to... your parents said that they'd ask you to go to the council and that you said you would.
I did, yes. Are we going right now?
We don't have to go right now, but I wanted to come and get you. I should probably let you know who's going and what sort of things we might need to talk about. And I just wanted an excuse to come and hang out with you for a bit before we had to get all.
Oh, there it is. The real heart of the matter. Okay.
Well, I can leave if you want me to.
Oh, no, please. By all means, you can leave. Just don't expect me not to come with you. Although I probably should finish helping up here real quick. Just you.
Yeah, let's help them. You guys are you're moving a cow from one place to another and spreading the fertilizer where needed. She doesn't seem quite so comfortable physically helping out quite like this, but she's a good sport about it. She gets on with it. And eventually the pair of you manage to return to your horses and begin to make your way towards the ferry. And as you're traveling, she says, "It's really bad, isn't it? For the food, I mean. I didn't think it was this bad."
It's a problem. It's a very serious problem.
Yeah.
We'd been discussing, the group and I had been discussing potentially raiding where there may be a good store of food in the wrong hands, shall we say. But that's something that will have to wait.
Dachin's dead.
Well, he's dead, but his people aren't. Not all of them, anyways.
Oh. Right, yeah, that.
Something of a cult, one might say. And, I'm sure that they don't really need it as much as some other people might. It's what cults are about, right? It's not their food, it's everyone's, right? That's how that works.
Semantics, I think.
Oh, it's fair.
I think if there is a store somewhere, we should go check it out. But I wouldn't feel right if we took all of it. Just because there's probably a lot of innocent people, misguided people in Dachin's cult. Unpopular opinion, I guess, but I don't think we should punish all of them. Just take what we need, make sure that they have enough to eat.
For all my grand wisdom and intellect, I hadn't actually thought about that. That's a good point.
That some of them are brainwashed? Misguided,
right. I think in my mind it was just us versus them. This is why you're my better half.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't think so.
That's okay. You don't need to think it, but I do.
Okay, so we're going to the Gentleman's Dueling Club.
Oh, God.
And it's, Gilles is going to be the arbiter. He's going to make sure that things they don't get out of control. Thakit is going to be there. Helsif is going to be there. I'm obviously going. Queen Rowena is going with Thakit as Thakit's bodyguard, I guess. Damas is going there for the lodge. Trempow's going there. There's this person coming from the Witcher Society, but they still haven't elected a leader yet. So I don't know how that's going to go down.
Oh, boy.
That someone will be coming. Yeah. I think you met them. It was a gnomish man. He was quite rude.
No, please don't tell me that. No.
He was told to leave.
Okay. Yep. Right.
And they haven't quite recovered. So, and with Trempow splitting his Witcher Society away, and a lot of people see the work that he did with the berries and not asking for any payment back and developing a new magic system. I don't think he's taking credit for that, but he's definitely leaning into the fact that he has people who can do that. I don't know. They're a little strange right now. And one of the former Triad army leaders is also going to be there.
Really?
Yeah. And we think someone from Geerta is coming.
Oh.
But I'm not entirely sure who they are. We kept getting mixed, sign-offs. One moment they were Penamon, and the next minute they were Pen, and I don't know.
Oh no, that's the same person.
They are?
We actually met.
Oh, thank goodness! At least I got that right.
No, Pen is great. Pen is good people.
Yeah. So, and there's Baracus. He's I was supposed to marry his son. He is coming, but he actually can't talk. Someone tried to kill him. Kel's tried to kill him.
Oh.
And now he can't talk. But there is this goblin lady coming. I like her. Her name's Adnalov.
Okay.
She used... Of everyone going, I know that Thakit has strong views, and I know that Helsif is very dedicated to what she's doing. It's Adnalov. I like her, but she can be a little tricky. She was basically head of their, slightly darker operative teams for the initiative. She may not tell the truth, and she may know more than she lets on. Just be careful of her.
I'll keep that in mind.
So, as representatives, everyone gets to take a bodyguard, and I'm assuming that you're taking Zoltana.
I hadn't even been thinking about Zoltana as a bodyguard so much as a literal goddess, but yeah, that was the kind of the idea. Is I feel like having a goddess at the table might help.
Yeah, I know that some people who are working with Emil and such like. I know that group of people were going to have sent someone, but not anymore.
There's definitely a pursing of lips when Emil is mentioned.
Oh, that's there's a story there, huh?
Story that I would love to share
okay?
if we were in somewhere very, very, very anti-magic.
Oh.
It's a long story.
I should be wary? Or he's already super dead? Or
right. Telepathy.
I mean,
telepathy.
more than normal.
I keep forgetting because I try not to intrude in people's minds, and then I end up forgetting that that's a thing I can do. He switches over to telepathic discussion and tells her about everything that happened, everything we learned about Emil and Lafian's apparent unpopular opinion on the subject matter, and bit of tension that happened with that, and just
yeah. Episode of tension on that.
He lays that all out and is just
she uses telepathy back, and she says, "I can't imagine that would have been easy, having to talk and make a decision like that. I hope that if Ral is going to do something, that he's safe."
Me too.
Lich running around, that is scary. I think we should leave him there. But that's not my decision to make. And I think it would be really wise that we didn't bring this up at the meeting.
No, absolutely not. I imagine quite a few people would probably take issue.
Right. First of all, he's a lich. Even though he's trying to do something right now. It's probably not wise to talk about him.
Right.
We can either go tomorrow morning, first thing, before the sun's up, or we can go this evening. Jill said that they've got rooms he kind of said that they were remodeling. I don't know what that means, but yeah. He's
might have been from the mess that we left the last time we were there.
Right, yeah, it could be that too.
Well, okay, I say it wasn't our fault. It was...
There were dragons involved, okay? It's a very unique situation.
I would say it's Rowan's fault, but like, I feel like saying that is going to make him probably somehow sense that I said something, and then he's going to come after me again.
It's okay. He can't hear our thoughts, right?
I hope not.
Right? She thinks very loudly.
Yes, I'm aware. I don't know how dragons work. Up until a couple months ago, they were just myths and legends.
I know. The idea that there are dragons out there, good dragons, bad dragons, that there are dragons that are undead, it's terrifying.
Oh, don't remind me of that one.
Sorry. Too soon, huh?
Oh, far too soon. I'm going to see shooting stars going across the sky, and I'm going to get PTSD from it.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm overreacting. It's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can either start really early tomorrow or we can go this evening. I would prefer to go this evening because I can't meditate the same way you do. I have to sleep a little bit longer.
Okay, well, we have the whole rest of... Oh, God, what time is it now?
It's a little after sunset.
Oh, so we would need to leave real soon then.
Actually, I think there's somewhere I want to take you before we go.
Okay.
The Witches Society here, they've been told to teleport me wherever I need to go. And
right.
The people on the other side, they're also... it's not exactly that they owe me favors, but I could get them into a lot of trouble if you don't help me. So come with me. And you make your way to the Witches Society. There you see that Kythea hands over a symbol, one that you don't recognize. And you find a tug on the back of your navel. And you find yourself standing in almost brilliant sunlight. You've clearly traveled very, very far away. And as soon as you arrive, Kythea takes the necklace off and she reveals her tiefling form. And she kind of like indicates for you to pull your hood up just a little bit. And she says, okay, I've been waiting to hold on to this, but I don't know what's going to happen after the meeting. And if we've just got an evening right now, I want to take you and show you something, okay?
Okay.
So as you both step out of like this area which is surrounded by pillars and you step out into the street, you see that the street themselves is covered in this cobblestone. As you look around, you can see this very high wall on one side that seems to stretch for a very long distance. And you look over to one side and you see this port. You can see that there are very high towers and temples, but you can obviously tell that not all of them are being used for religion anymore, that they've been converted into places of knowledge and learning and experimentation. And as you look around, you see tabaxi and tieflings and goblins and gnomes and drow. You see one or two humans wandering around. You see one or two elves wandering around, but they are very, very much the exception at this point. And Kythea says, so this is Sylvana. This is where I come from.
Oh. Am I not supposed to be here?
You can. Adnalov and Barakas basically said, fuck the treaty for now. Give or take, but
well, glad we're in agreement then.
my brother's still in charge here, and it can maybe make things awkward.
Okay, got it.
I don't really want to show you the town right now. I want to come back and show you everything about Kino and where I'm from, and to meet people that I care and adore and absolutely love. And I want you to meet the person who helped me get from here over to Discora, but that's not today. I want to show you this temple. And she kind of takes you by the hand. She leads you into this temple, and you can see that there are acolytes and priests all around. And very quickly you can't understand language spoken, can you?
No, I don't have... I could if I spent points, I think.
It's probably not worth. She takes you by the hand and then takes you up to where the altar is after speaking to one or two of the priests here. And she presses a button, and you hear this clicking and this whirring, and you see the pedestal in front of you drop down momentarily and come back up with a book. And she says, I wanted to show you this place. There are so many books stored underneath here. This isn't even a library. This is a temple. And they have mechanisms and whirring, and they have so much knowledge underneath here. I thought you'd want to see the kind of things that I see, the kind of things that I get to grow up with. There are so many books down here, and it was all protected by the temple and religion until recently, when the gods died, that it's now just a library for anyone. And I wanted to show you. I think I remember you telling me that you can read a lot of languages, and I thought you might find this fun. I can take you below and show you where all the books are, just as long as we don't get in the mechanisms.
His eyes are like wide as he's looking all this. He's looking all over this like raised platform and the gears and everything, and oh, I like this. What are all these? And he's like gesturing at like all the mechanisms underneath it. What are these things? How does that work?
She tries to explain best she can, but she clearly doesn't know all the answers. So she calls one of the acolytes over, and they kind of like between them, they translate what all of these things do best to their knowledge. You can see that some of it has been like replaced recently, some of it has been damaged recently. But yeah, like they go through and explain how all the mechanisms work. They take you below the pedestal, and they show you like how all the gears work from underneath, and how pressing different buttons and how magic relates to like the equivalent of the whatever the
Dewey Decimal System,
whatever the library system is. That's the one. They show you the magical equivalent of that, and they show you that there are places that you could very easily and comfortably sit down and read. Yeah, they take you underneath.
What's this right here? It's engraved in one of these cogs. It says Ron? What's that?
That's one of the newer ones that have been recently refurbished. The acolyte admits that he doesn't know what happened to Aaron. God damn it, Arch.
As soon as you said that, I was like, wait a minute, Aaron was here. Yep. He was helping.
Yep. Yeah, and you guys, she shows you the various books they have here. You recognize a few covers, clearly translations of 3 very important books to our world, along with a variety of like very knowledge-based books. Yeah, and after a long while, she says, "We should probably head back. I know it's still really sunny out, but we should probably get going soon." And we can come back here anytime you like.
Oh, yes, please.
I just wanted to show you this.
We're coming back. 110%. There's so many books here. Do you think they would be willing to share some for when we do the school? We're going to need textbooks.
I think so. If not, I know that this library, and there's one in the capital, and there's one in Freedom's Bluff and Wale. Wale may be harder, but...
And we've got a bunch back home.
There's... they do a lot of copying, they do a lot of copy prints, but I heard that a place in Freedom's Bluff is trying to print them. And she kind of looks like really like she has no idea 100% what she's saying.
What is print?
So you know how like if you get ink on your hands and you put it on a piece of paper, it has the print of your hand on it, like it has an outline,
right?
Or shows the lines on your fingers. It's like that, but it's like a big piece of like a clay tablet, and they cover it in ink, and then they put it on paper, and it transfers the letters and the shapes to it.
Now you're just making things up.
I'm not. I swear it's true. Okay. I mean, it was a rumor I heard really recently, but yeah, someone in Freedom's Bluff is figuring that out, apparently.
Well, that sounds like something we're going to need to investigate thoroughly then when this is all over. And he throws a wink at her.
Yeah, we should absolutely explore all of Kino. Let's just show you everything.
For science.
For science, yeah. Purely for science. And if we can have rare books be copied more quickly for our school, then we should do that.
Absolutely.
She kind of has like this big smile on her face.
So investing in the future.
Okay. Do you need to pick up Sultana or let her know? Do we need to do that before we go to the Gentleman's Dueling Cup?
I don't know. We didn't really coordinate that much. Hold on a second. I still have Zoltana. Where do you want us to meet you?
And we'll answer that question in Zoltana's episode. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Doing these like one-on-one episodes have been an absolute blast, and this one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you much for hanging out with me for an hour or so, making this episode. It was really good to dive into some more like Lafian personal stuff. I want to say a huge thank you to one of our newer patrons, Clids. Thank you so much. You help keep the lights on around here, and we genuinely do appreciate it. And also, if anyone wants to come out and hang out with us and talk to us about these episodes, any of the shows in Blighthouse, or even just, talk about, how annoying bees can be. Yeah, we got you. We're on Discord. There should be a link in the description somewhere, so come hang out with us, say hi. All of the cast and crew for TLD and all the other Blighthouse shows are all in there, and the community is amazing. So come hang out with us on there. It's a lot of fun. And finally, you're about to hear an ad for Dungeons and Drimbus. I love these guys. They have great little series. Go ahead, listen to the ad, and then go listen to their show. Bye.
Were you accused of a murder enacted by supernatural forces beyond your control?
Yeah.
Are you seeking a multi-figure gold settlement for damages to your business?
Yes.
Are you a young entrepreneur seeking justice for the murder of a family member that would be here if you were better at your job?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Thomas Phelps. I am the attorney, along with my assistants, of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher, and we want to help you get justice.
Our expert legal services are available for a modest fee, but not too modest. I got a family to feed.
As a bot, I don't eat, but I do have a hunger. A hunger for justice.
And that hunger drives us to work for you, future client. From investigation to sentencing, we've got you covered for everything from public urination
Ooh, yeah.
to murder in varying degrees.
Don't look at me.
The attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher care about families. That's why they work quickly to help get this daddy off. I was blown away.
My business was in trouble after an unfortunate case of property damage, but the attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher helped set things right with a hefty gold settlement.
So come on down to the law offices of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher.
Located in the old Biscayne Boys building.
in Eastern Orgea.
Just follow the podcast highway signs for Dungeons and Drimbus and take the Season 3 exit. The attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbio, and Felcher are not responsible nor liable for any of the following that may be incurred while working on your case: sudden death, loss of limb, heartbreak, the use of magic to secure evidence, the wrath of an interdimensional being, urinary bladder infections, nausea, depression, the sudden desire to remove one's clothing, the illicit romance of a will they, won't they workplace scenario, or complete and utter disregard for the natural laws of space and time.
Join your favorite fantasy attorneys for their next case. Dungeons and Drimbus publishes every Friday wherever podcasts are found.